So we are live from Crusaders headquarters. I'm just sharing out the live. I'd appreciate it if you'd all share it out too, please. So I'm live right now. I'm just getting some stuff prepared and wait for some people to jump in. Please share this out. I'm sharing it now myself. Then we're going to get into the decodes. So I am here, I am live, and we are going to be sharing a whole bunch more brand new decodes that I have done. Okay, I'm just sharing to Facebook. Excuse me. Okay. So this is my Facebook, Nico King Nico. So welcome to the Baphomet Club. It's all coming out now. It's been less than a week that I've known this person. And now I'm just finding out the ties, the connections, the gematria, the Baphomet rituals. So his whole life is surrounded by Satanism. All his friends, his wife is a Baphomet. His wife was Miss Arizona 2012, which was owned by Trump. So Trump owned the beauty pageant, the Miss World, that Erica Trump was a part of. Miss Arizona, there's the Baphomet. Wide shoulders, wider than the hips, or lack thereof hips. There is no womb in here. Erica Trump cannot have a baby because it was born a male. Same as Candace Owens was born a boy. This is a little black boy. LGBT black boy. Baphomet. Freemason. That there is the Cross of Malta, or the Knights of Malta logo, worn by Jesuit, Baphomet, Satanist, Sodomite, Erica Trump. See that cross right there? That is the Knights of Malta. Knights of Malta emblem is right here. Live yesterday at 31 minutes in to the live, Candace Owens says, I am one of the Masons of the Turning Point USA. So confirming I'm a Mason, confirmed. I have the video. Please share this out. Just going through some stuff before we get into the decodes. So this is getting really wild, JFK wild. So there's this guy who's now a new person of interest in the incident that took place. We're now learning that there is such a thing called a palm pistol. So what you might think and perceive to be, the typical, usual weapon in these types of scenarios is not really what was used. Excuse me. So there is video I have on Twitter regarding this and showing the footage of the twitch and where he reached for it and grabbed it and is palming something, and then, oh, it's insane. So Charlie Kirk's dad is named Robert W. Kirk. So Charlie Kirk's father, Robert W. Kirk, is an architect, the architect that was involved in the design and construction of Trump Tower. Wow. So all the connections are coming in to why Charlie Kirk is who he is, right? We have the shared birthdays between George Floyd and Charlie Kirk. So October 14th is exactly 33 days after 9/11, September 11th. So we're going to I'm just going to find all the decodes that I have before we get into the brand new decode so we can add. Okay, I have a big post, so it's starting to come in now. This is a big one. Okay, let's go to the decodes. So remember Irina Zarutska and what was said after the incident on the train by DeCarlo Brown. He's expected to receive the death penalty, and most likely also will Tyler Robinson receive a death penalty. Fallen angel equals 474. So these guys are Freemasons. The hand signs, we've been telling you before, these are Masonic hand signs, Baphomet hand signs. And now that Candace Owens, less than 24 hours ago, says, I am one of the Masons of Turning Point USA, even though her name is not on Wikipedia for one of the founders, it's only Charlie Kirk and Bill Montgomery. 666 hand signs, worshipping the beast. Last words were gang violence, which equals one of two halves of trial and tribulation, 1260 days, 42 months. So gender bender equals 606. So why is 606 significant? Because 606, remember, they're referring to him as Fearless Charlie. On September 10th, 1419, which was 606 years ago to the day, a man by the name of John I, which was the Duke of Burgundy, known as John the Fearless, Jean Sans Pierre. So he was assassinated, take this in, on the 10th of September, exactly 606 years before the Charlie Kirk assassination. He was assassinated by a man named Charles, who would go on to be King Charles of France. So there's your connection, because history keeps repeating itself. So history repeats itself as 1614. Charles James Kirk is 1614, for history repeats itself. So remember, 606 years apart now. So gender bender is 606. Gender invert is 846 and 1098. Extinction level. So 1656 is the year of the Great Flood, which was an extinction level event. I'm just getting to the new decodes. So Zionist equals 322. So Charlie Kirk died exactly 322 weeks from the debut of his show to the death, which was a neck wound, 666. It was also 6 years and 66 days. The Star Trek connections. We're going to get into some Galactic Federation and Charlie James Kirk, 918, because prove me wrong equals 918. Remember, Galactic Federation is 918, Charlie James Kirk is 918. Prove me wrong was the slogan at all of his events, the Turning Point USA events, right? Prove me wrong. So I've looked at some of these events, and a lot of them will have the banner, prove me wrong, on the gazebo or whatever he's sitting under, right? Even in this one, prove me wrong, prove me wrong. And there he's wearing the black shirt. But for some reason, at this event in Utah, everything changed. He went from always wearing a black shirt to wearing a white shirt. And now, prove me wrong, has a lightning bolt in the middle of it. The lightning bolt for Satan falling from heaven as lightning is added to the prove me wrong slogan now. So please try and confirm. Look, you can see other slogans where the lightning bolt is not added, but now it's added at the Utah event. So assassin equals 606. So remember the assassination of John the Fearless 606 years ago? Well, assassin equals 606. So 606 years later, Charlie Kirk was assassinated in Rome, Utah. You're wondering, Rome? No, it wasn't Rome. It's Orem, right? But Orem is just an anagram for Rome. So Orem, Utah is 606, or Rome, Utah, 606, where Charlie Kirk was assassinated by an assassin, equals 606, which was exactly 606 years after John the Fearless was assassinated on the exact same day of September 10th, 1419. So nepotism, because I showed you Charlie Kirk's father is Robert W. Kirk. We'll get back to it, but I showed you it and his connections to Trump and Trump Tower. So remember, Kirk's dad designed and constructed Trump Tower. Which means he's a nepotism baby, which is why he's famous and was able to rise so far, so young to his position of influence, why he's able to shake hands with presidents across the world, Trump and Netanyahu, because he is a part of nepotism. Nepotism equals 666 and 630. I showed you that 630 number because Charlie Kirk equals 630, which is nepotism. Charlie Kirk equals masonry, 630, because he's a Masonic nepotism baby, right? Charlie Kirk, masonry, nepotism. When you're born into a family and you get to where you are because of who your parents are. For example, sorry, LeBron James in basketball, and now his son, Bronny James Jr. Everyone calls him Nepo baby. They say, oh, he never would have made it to the NBA if it wasn't for who his father is. The exact same thing goes for Charlie Kirk, who is nepotism. There's the Star Trek. So Trump Tower. So remember, Charlie Kirk's dad, Robert W. Kirk, was an architect that designed and constructed Trump Tower. So Trump Tower equals 606. And I just showed you prove me wrong was the slogan that had a lightning bolt of Lucifer added to it in Orem, Utah, which equals 606 like Trump Tower, like assassin equals 606. Nepotism 666 and 630. Zionist 322. Let's get back to some of these decodes where I can find them. So Charlie Kirk and Star Trek. Where is it? It's coming up. So Charlie Kirk tweeted on December 19th, 2012, I love Star Trek. It was exactly 666 weeks after or before the September 23rd Feast of Trumpets date that everyone is looking at. So when September 23rd comes, it will be exactly 666 weeks after Charlie Kirk's I Love Star Trek. So they're setting up for the alien invasion. This is what these rituals are telling us. Feast of Trumpets is 726, Antichrist is 726. Feast of Trumpets is 923, which is the date, 923, September 23rd. So now we have this tweet, I love Star Trek equals 1050, another number that I discovered and have been sharing on this channel. So let's show you what the 1050 is. I'm going to blow your mind right now. So his tweet, which was exactly 666 weeks before September 23rd, 2025, equals 1050. I have done immense work on this number 1050 going back to 2022. So Sesame Street equals 1050. PDF file equals 1050. Satanic worship equals 1050. Christ consciousness is 1050. Pope Francis 1050. Sorry. Babylonian 1050. The end times is 1050. 1050 written out as 1050 equals 666 in reverse English Sumerian and 1050 and 666 Jewish. So AI apocalypse equals 1050. Right? His tweet, I love Star Trek, is 1050, which is exactly 666 weeks before September 23rd. It equals, so 1050 equals AI apocalypse. So this is a coded tweet. So 666 weeks before September 23rd, which is everyone's calling Feast of Trumpets, is a coded I love Star Trek, which is a exact match to AI Apocalypse, The Immaculate Conception, Mystery, Babylon the Great, Scottish Rite Freemasons, Satanic Worship, Spawn of Satan, A New World Order. So 1050. Charlie Kirk is a satanic puppet. I got more decodes. Let me just check the phone because, so remember, gender bender equals 606. Gender invert is 1098 and 846. So this is another number that's been popping up on the channel. I haven't been able to explain it well, but 1098. So there's a lot of things going on with Charles, right? Like King Charles, Charles Sheen, Charlie Sheen. And in my videos, I noticed I kept saying Charlie Clerk. I kept adding an L to his last name. So that's because of a race car driver called Charles Leclerc, who is from Monaco. Charles Leclerc is a Monegasque motorsports racing driver. Charles Mark Herve Percival Leclerc, or Charlie Leclerc. Charlie Leclerc was born October 16th, 1997. That's only 2 days after Charlie Kirk's birthday, October 14th, but the year 1993. So let's do a date duration with Charles Leclerc and Charlie Kirk. Bloody tongue twisters, all these Charles and Kirks and Clerks. So we're going to do a date duration between their birthdays. October 14th, 93 to October 16th, 97 is exactly October 14th. Give me a sec. So we're looking at Charles Leclerc, October 16th, 1997, and Charlie Kirk, October 14th, 1993. Okay, I'm going to come back to that. I'm just going to go through the phone. Like I said, I'm just jumping on and I'll connect it all in just a second. Got the transpocalypse, extinction level event. Zionist is 322, assassin 606. So let me do this one then. So remember, so his dad that worked for Trump, his wife, who was also technically working for Trump in the Miss World pageant. So we got Robert W. Kirk. Equals 1086. (1086) equals Large Hadron Collider, which was switched on 1086 weeks after 9/11/2001. It equals Womb of Creation, the Beast System, the Jesuit Order. So Robert W. Kirk equals the Jesuit Order in the exact same cipher, 1086. And also 1086. So it was a ritual sacrifice, right? Sorry, I'm going through my decodes here. Making sure I just add everything that's new. Oh yeah, civil rights leader. So 1086, we have, excuse me. We have the connections now. I'm going to add something here. And then we're going to quickly just, why isn't it loading? So civil rights leader equals 1086. Just like Robert W. Kirk, 1086, which equals the Beast System, 1086, and the Jesuit Order, because they're Jesuits. I showed you the image of his wife wearing the Knights of Malta cross. So there's the Star Trek connection. So he says, I love Star Trek, which equals 1050, which is Mystery Babylon, satanic worship. Civil rights leader. So he's added to the list of assassinated presidents, politicians, or civil rights leaders. Civil rights leader equals 1086. There's the October 14th birthday. Let me just go through my list quickly because I know I'm missing something. I just want to make sure I find it. So the 606, Twin Tower is 1614. Trump Tower is 606, which is crazy. Prove me wrong with the lightning bolt. I do have other connections with the movie Weapons. Okay, so the birthdays are the same, which is absolutely insane. So let's get to the decodes. The 1254s, you won't see anything else like it anywhere else. So Orem, Utah equals fallen angel. Orem, Utah, or Rome, Utah equals 606. Assassin equals 606. Gender bender is 606. There's the 630s, because nepotism equals 630, and 666. Nepo baby, nepotism. Look at the numbers. Nepotism equals Charlie Kirk, equals the day he was assassinated, equals masonry. So there's the 1614s. So I believe Twin Tower equals Charles James Kirk. I'll put that in now. All the tower connections, right? So Twin Tower equals 1614, which is Charles James Kirk, Ancient Artificial Intelligence, and September 23rd. So this is what the beast system rituals are proving, that whatever's supposedly going to happen either on September 23rd or 24th, or whatever these TikTok Christians are predicting and saying, you know, even though the Bible says no one will know the day, the time, the hour, nothing, maybe just the season, but no one will know, not even the angels in heaven. Not even the angels in heaven will know. So how the hell is it all over TikTok and YouTube? So the angels in heaven should get online, go to YouTube or TikTok, and then they too will now know the date of the rapture, right? It's ridiculous. So 1614 equals Twin Tower, and then Trump Tower equals 606. There's the 1254 weeks. So in the exact same ritual timeline from this specific date, 9/11/2001. So it was 1086 weeks after this date on July 5th, 2022, which involved CERN and the Large Hadron Collider. And now it's 1254 weeks, and it's going to reach 923, and which equals Great Tribulation. Or AI becomes self-aware. So which one is it? What is going to happen on September 23rd, 2025? What is the connection between Charles James Kirk or Charlie Kirk? Why is he connected to Great Tribulation? Why is he connected to the date September 23rd and ancient artificial intelligence? Will there be a rapture, or will AI becomes self-aware? 1254. Will we now have supercomputers? Is this the rise of Antichrist beast, Abaddon? Will it be the rapture of the bride of Christ? Do you see how all the numbers are tying into this? So what is happening is that Satan, the devil, the father of lies and manipulation, is conniving and is mimicking God. He is mirroring everything God has ever done because he wants to be God, but he cannot. So Antichrist Trump equals 1254. We're about to witness a September prophecy, 1254, and that prophecy will be fulfilled. So the whole Candace Owens thing, I told you, they're Masons, Freemasons, Baphomets. People are like, oh, but women can't be Masons. It's a male thing. I'm like, yeah, what you're looking at here is a male in drag, right? So I'm not a Mason. I'm not part of these lodges. I don't know what is accepted or what is banned. I don't know. I do know. I've told you before, but you guys don't want to listen. So I'm going to say it again. They are the brotherhood of Cain. They are the serpent seed of Satan. They are Canaanite. They are Hamite, right? So Canaanites before the flood, Hamites after the flood, right? Through marriage, through the wife of Ham, who he was in love with, who was saved, who he chose, not who God chose. Remember, God chose Noah and his family, and his sons chose their wives. And it was Ham that chose a Canaanite woman that was able to have the Nephilim DNA saved through that wedlock. And we're seeing it again and again, the Great Flood Rebellion. This is a Baphomet wearing the Masonic G ring, fornicating with a wax dummy from the Madame Tussauds Wax Museum. I told you, Freemasons. And now Candace Owens has come out and said, I am a Mason. And everyone's like, no, that just means this, or you're taking it out of context. I'm like, oh boy, here we go again. So people, I'm sick of showing you these connections before they happen, and then they come out and tell you, and then you still cover for them. So let's go see this one more time. I just have my phone in front of me too. You know, not really organized today as I usually am, but it's not going to make a difference. It seems the more work I put into this and the more effort to make it appealing, I get disrespected. And when I decide to just jump on and not care and just have everything scattered and random, and then everyone decides to take notice. So this is a transgendered little boy named Candace Owens, who just less than 24 hours ago, let me bring that up and play it again for you guys. Where are we gonna play it? Which window? Chrome tab.
Masons of Turning Point USA. I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA. I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA. I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA. I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA. I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA. I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA. I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA. I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA. I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA. I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA. I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA. I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA. I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA. I'm one.
Yeah. Again, everything being proven. I'm kind of just, done proving everything, being ahead of everyone else. So that's going to be it for today. That's the live. I got all the 606 connections. We got the Baphomet connections. We got confession of being a Mason. Yeah, it's all here. So have a good day, everyone.